Hey beautiful people, I'm Sabrina and welcome to Urban Bush Babes. We are back with TK Wonder in the house in the show. Okay.
Want me to break that?
Woo! So we're gonna get into all the stuff that we let out of last time, which is the good side, the positive side, but the good side of the industry.
The tag.
The tag. The tag. Ooh. Yeah, I am silly, especially around her.
Yeah, I know. We're both silly. Oh. You don't want to see the outtakes.
No, you don't. Oh, maybe you do.
I do.
Okay, so let's get started. So everyone has that almost like missed call in the music industry or any entertainment industry, like, oh, the almost missed call, or that, you know, big moment.
Yeah, like Will Smith could have played Neo in Matrix.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is
Was Will Smith and Val Kilmer could have played Lawrence Fishburne's.
right. Val Kilmer was going to play Lawrence Fishburne.
Morpheus, yeah.
Morpheus character. And yeah, so when they turned out, actually Jada was going to be Trinity,
Right.
the first time,
Yes.
and then Val Kilmer was going to be Neo.
Right. The first Matrix is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
The first one.
right. Wait, who? Oh, no. Will was going to be Neo.
Yeah, Will's
Right.
gonna be Neo, Val Kilmer was gonna be
Morpheus. And then Jada was supposed to be Trinity, wasn't she? Oh, did they have it? I don't know, but I know about Will and yeah. So
Don't mind us.
see snaps and a twist. Oh, we gotta do it together. Oh, we gotta do it together.
Yeah.
Two snaps and a twist.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I know. He was like,
I just remember this.
yeah. Okay, so have you had any of those like missed calls personally?
I have. So it was great. It was disappointing, but it's great. But I didn't sit there like, oh my gosh, it's the end. Like, you know, I just kept it moving. You know, that's the way I always look at it. You know, whenever I get opportunities, I'm always about the next step, because music for me is, it's my life. You know, it's inspirational. It's my outlet. You know, when I perform on stage, if I'm feeling happy or, you know, I'm feeling maybe a little upset about something, performing is my outlet, songwriting is my outlet. So, you know, for something like that to not go through, yes, of course it's disappointing, but at the same time too, it just lets me know that I'm on the right path and to keep striving and to keep moving. You know, you're going to have disappointments in your life, but you can't let them knock you down. They say the easiest thing to do is to fall, the hardest thing is to get back up. Yeah, so I mean, that's the way I look at it. You know, you're always going to fall, but it's how you get back up is the most important thing.
Ain't that the truth? That's life, y'all. Life. So. So, I also meant to ask you, who, if you could name 3 artists from the past, who would you love to work with? They could be, like, from the past. Like,
Dead?
Yeah, dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it's really good. I haven't really thought about it.
Okay. You want to come back to it?
No, we can.
Oh, okay. Then I have some more questions.
Oh, Biggie's definitely one. Biggie's my favorite rapper. He's one of my favorite rappers because he's a storyteller, and I'm all about telling stories and songs and lyrics, and I think, you know, definitely Biggie is one. Who's number 2? Number 2, I don't know if I would like to work with him, I just want to see him perform live, so Jimi Hendrix. I have a bit of a rock obsession. Now I'm more so with the fashion, but I did, when I was younger, I used to, oh my gosh, I used to dress crazy, like rock stuff. And
yeah, I love Jimi Hendrix, and she used to dress crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's true.
Right, but you know what I'm saying, like, a good way. And I know it too, like I did dress crazy.
But that was inspiring because you weren't afraid to wear anything.
Oh yeah, back then I was afraid to wear
that
anything.
inspired me. I love that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Back then, my on-stage style was my off-stage style. So, I wear like this sheer pink shirt with a sprinkled skull in the front and a zebra mini skirt with these big goth boots. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was cool then because that was my style. Now it's completely changed, but yeah, so Jimi Hendrix, and number 3, I just got 2 for now. That's a good question.
Now that it's like, festival circuits coming again this summer, what's some of the festivals that you would love to perform in?
Definitely Coachella is one. South by Southwest is another. Because these are ones I'm naming the states. There's tons of ones overseas, like Hackney. I think that's in London. Hackney Festival. That's a huge one. I would love to perform at. I mean, there's a bunch, but Coachella, South by Southwest, Hard Fest here, I think it's here in New York. Oh, wherever there's a festival, I would love to perform. I'm not picky.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love to perform. And you tell me the time and date, I'm there,
And speaking of like being overseas, how's it being? Because a lot of times when you go to these shows and you're performing, a lot of times you're, if only the woman of color, besides performing. So what's the energy of, the people overseas, or just the vibe of the crowd?
Well, it's been great. It's actually been phenomenal. And also too, I'm dealing with people who are involved in this music circuit. So I'm meeting audiences that are there for the music, and everyone who's involved in making the festival possible. So it's not like I am venturing out into the streets of these different countries. So except for Macedonia, I've probably been there so many times. So it's been incredible. I never feel out of place or uncomfortable. People are just very curious to know why I'm here. But at first, because us growing up in Maryland, we experienced some racism, and I've experienced it, parts in New York, not as harsh as I did in Maryland, of course. So the way that I think, I dealt with a lot of racism. We dealt with a lot of racism growing up in our family. I have to admit that was a thought that crossed my mind before I went overseas. I was like, I don't know how they're gonna accept me. And my biggest fear probably was my rapping. I was like, they're gonna understand what I'm saying. But a lot of the younger generation in these countries, and older too, they speak English, so they understand. But I would have to say traveling, I thought like I was gonna have to deal with maybe I'd be put in some uncomfortable situations. But everyone's been great and so open and friendly, and it's just been a great experience. That's probably another reason why I love going on tour and performing so much, because you get to interact with people and connect. And for me as an artist, that's one of my favorite things. I love talking to people and hearing what they thought about the show, or feedback and critiques and stuff like that. It's been all amazing and positive feedback, so it's been a blast.
Awesome. That's not a surprise. You have such amazing, lovely energy. That's incredible. It's my art. Thank you.
So as a female lyricist, in the game, what's the perception that you want people to have of you?
I think probably the number one thing is I think that I don't want to be perceived as just a female rapper, because I do other things as well, like songwriting and singing, and including all those elements together, a bit of spoken word and certain tracks. But I do want people to perceive that I write my own stuff, and as a female who does rap, you don't have to talk about the same old topic all the darn time. I really gotta say it slow. Hallelujah. But yeah, I think that's my biggest frustration, like listening to some female lyricists. They feel like, you have to talk about a certain subject to get attention, and hey, it works. You know, it's just not for me. I feel like if you are going to talk about sex, at least do it in an innovative way that hasn't been done before, and people can be like, okay, she's talking about sex, but like, look at the way she talked about or described it. You know, you can even do a story. Like, Ghostface Killer is probably one of my favorite lyricists as far as telling stories. He's amazing. I remember this one track from beginning to end, he just kept rapping. It was a whole story. Anyway, going off on another tangent, but I mean, I feel like as a female lyricist, I want people's perception of me to be that she actually talks about something. And hey, I mean, people go out to have fun, they go to clubs, they don't want to listen about, you know, serious subjects all the time. I understand that, but at the same time too, you can write about a serious subject and make it a fun club song, like Jesus Walks, you know? He was actually talking about stuff in that song, but it was serious, but it was up-tempo. I mean, there are things that you can do, so for people to be like, oh, I don't want to hear kind of stuff like that, because when I go out, I just want to party and have fun, but same time too, you can make music that's fun and made to party, but actually has some substance in the verses or the lyrics. So that's my whole thing. I could go on for another 20 minutes about ghostwriting and all that stuff, but I won't. Maybe another video.
So speaking about perception and people's perception of you, what do you have coming out for the people so they can check out what you're coming out, some new stuff, projects?
There's a few things. I have a mixtape called Subtract times TK Wonder. It's a really great producer based out of UK, and I worked on this project with Junior from Interesting Somethings, and we worked. He's the one that suggested I do a mixtape the first time, so he's a collaborator. We've had a great working relationship musically, and I'm looking forward to continuing that and actually working on some new stuff with him. But we have a mixtape anyway that's coming out very soon. I have some new material with Kirill Jabakowski that I'm super excited about. And we're going to be working on new material, which I'm super excited about. Also, I have a new group that I perform with Kissy. Not performed, we haven't performed yet, but formed rather. And it's called Wonder Kiss, and she does the production. Really talented woman, my first female producer that I've worked with. But she's a singer as well, great voice.
She's amazing.
Yeah, great talent. In our group, she does the production and I do the vocals and songwriting. So I'm very, thrilled to see where this project is going between the two of us. I also work with another band called Ben Porowski's Mood Swing Orchestra, and I've been performing with them for the last, I think, like 2, maybe 3 years, and we're more on the experimental side. But I'm actually looking forward to going some shows with them this year. Hopefully we'll have something in the works soon. And also, I ventured into house music. I love to dance to house, but I've never written to it. So I was actually contacted by a producer in Brazil. His name's Rodrigo Carrera. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And, he approached me about working on some stuff, and, I was going through some heartbreak at the time. So, it was perfect. I wrote this song, I was mad, and I wrote it, and he ended up loving it. So I was like, hey, maybe I have a knack for house music.
I actually found it right to anything, girl. What you doing? You're right to anything. You see, you're right to
Well, I mean, but, I never thought about writing house music. So anyway, we have a project going to do a full album, I believe, but definitely a few more songs. And I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. So hard. I've worked... not hard, I'm just trying to get it straight. I work with this producer named Nico Lori in France, and we have this huge, massive track that I think is very, monumental. I don't know. It's very big sound, and I just love my lyrics on it, and his production is amazing. So we have a track that's called Let Go. Hopefully that'll be out sometime soon.
So that's it. It's our wrap. We're wrapping it up. But I know everyone has been asking the hair. They said, we saw the music, we listened to the industry, we listened to how she fell off stage and got up and did a Beyonce move, on stage. You go, girl, be bad self.
She was much quicker though. No, I was.
You were like, oh, what was
I wish I had those reflexes. Yeah.
so we're gonna go into what everyone has been asking is the hair. Your hair regimen, how you wear your hair at night. What is your hair? Is it braids? Is it braids? Is it twist outs? People want to know. So we're gonna go all into all hair questions involving TK, and it's also gonna be cool too because you're gonna be able to see the differences. I mean, besides the obvious differences,
the one big
right here, the big basketball on the side, and her gorgeous, girl. I get so many. You wear yours up.
I wear mine down.
That's how we like it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be cool to see, since we're identical twins, just the differences between our natural hair, because there are differences, and I'm sure people are gonna want to know about that. So we're gonna go all into that, hair questions, also the airport. What's it like traveling in the airport with natural hair?
Get me started.
Ooh, we're gonna get you started. We want all that started. So we're gonna go into all that. So please join us on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Twitter, our website, urbanbushbabes.com, and that's it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Peace.